this draft from Nouns will probably fall flat. Sure, their heroes are great at the laning stage. Maybe that's what they're banking on. But in a high-pressure situation, in an elimination match, that's putting a lot of pressure on yourself, making a draft very single-dimensional for the laning stage. And that is one of the heroes that I mentioned is very hard to play into as an Underlord. But of course, you do have Hoodwink, so maybe it'll be enough.
He's probably crying to his team right now. Guys, you have a 2v1 top. I don't see first blood. Help me.
Now I'm going to die.
Ooh.
Copy is the one to get the first blood instead of the top lane, which they are trying to pressure the Underlord. I say try. They're not even touching him. Never mind.
That 5v5 looks impossible for you.
Well, it seems like to me that it's entirely up to the Mars or the Spirit Breaker. Then Stomp into the blast does go out and get that kill, but Copy blinked onto him after the Requiem and put himself in an awkward position where he's just going to die, and Echo does get that charge. In fact, he might get another one. Fly trying to protect himself with a Stomp, but they slowed him down. Spirit Vessel a bit more damage, and he'll tick out. They just don't have enough.
Oh, there's the charges for
Shadow
Echo.
Demon, yeah.
2 BKB piercing supports that can offer you an amazing amount of utility in those late game fights. It's a big X factor.
Well, you missed some of the abilities, but it doesn't matter. Free kill is still a free kill. Yuma diving in pretty aggressively here.
They want this tower. They want it fast. You group up for these plays. You don't want to just linger around these areas. Get what you came for and move on. And they'll land a stop, which should be another kill here.
Why? Not respecting the long-range initiation from Nouns. Gets up another kill.
The poke up. This is very tough if they just run into Nouns all together, but they can catch them split.
Smoke into an amp damage that Lelis denies, but gives himself killed in the process. Now they're stuck inside this arena trying to get away from the pit right now, but this Mars New playing around his own wall, throws the spear back out onto Yuma, but Requiem overwhelms him still though. Copy has this Shiro Lifestealer on him, and he's not quitting anytime soon. He gets that kill, now starts backing away. Fly throws out his ultimate to get some damage on a PYW, which Yuma can collect the kill on. But now the refraction's been burned through, the Lifestealer's back up to full HP after the infest, and can run down the Templar Assassin as well. A 2-for-3 exchange. LGD very happy with that fight in the river.
Really good target prioritization there, and Shiro just in the right place. Very timely smoke. So LGD, they know this is coming. This could be disaster for Nouns.
Depends on where the smoke breaks and who it breaks on. They break out of Shiro. Instant blink backwards from Coffee. He managed to get the open wounds onto Fly with a charge onto Yuma. Yuma gets the blink backwards. Looks like the Elder Titan could be sacrificed here. Actually hit the arena and got Gunner inside. Gunner's keeping Fly alive for now. Between the arena, oh, they're actually going to try and go through the gate here. The Will-O-Wisp doesn't pull you away from that one, so they get one that pick off, but at the same time, Spirit Breaker gets shot down by Lelis.
Man, what an escape by Nouns. I thought that was going to go way worse for them. Able to dodge most of the damage, and the fact SF gets the blink out there initially is a huge deal.
It would just be interrupted anyway.
I mean, Echo got to finish a BKB off this. You're going to TP the SF top, so this frees up the movement for LGD right now as the Coddle TP's bottom. His BKB flew on Courier down there. Nice little efficiency play, and they can instantly make a move with this. Any catch here is good for LGD because there's no Shadow Fiend. They're going to gate for him. But
Gunner putting himself on the front lines here. The gate to be able to bring the SF into this fight. PYW goes in for the Hoodwink. Can't get the kill. Gets himself killed, but maybe the spear afterwards can follow him. Shiro does manage to get that much. Ultimate in the back lines. Copy goes straight for the Shadow Demon that was causing him so many issues. With him now gone, it's LGD on retreat. They've lost both their supports and the cores. Well, they'll be able to get out. That means they'll forfeit Roshan in the process.
They might be able to still catch here. This SF is fast.
Yeah, with another TA trap, that Spirit, it gets close enough, and Copy speeds along with his Yasha to catch up. And they'll go for the kill on the Mars. Shiro's Rage does expire, but they've got nothing left.
Nice chase there. Spirit really helped them in these traps in the right place at the right time. But a lot of that was just Copy with solid positioning, getting on that Shadow Demon, turns that fight into it's a lot to ask for when in theory he's jumping potentially one of your supports or the Coddle. LGD need a bit more damage, a bit more staying power here as double BKB will arrive for Nouns and they still have that Aegis.
The arena wall goes up before he can get the final hit on the Observer Ward there. So the ward stays up and they get a kill on Hoodwink.
It's a big catch. That's a very farm support. And it's going to set back this BKB timing for Nouns that they were probably trying to smoke up or used right away. We'll also see the BKB delivered for Shiro. So he's just going traditional carry lifestealer build here, no halberd shenanigans, but we'll opt for that AC next. It's a big ticket item here. Very isolated.
Gunner already low.
What
He's
is he
gonna
doing?
die before he gets off any of his abilities.
I mean, he just gave a gem away, and they knew the ward was there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just a
I
misplay.
think that's why he went there. I think he went there to D-ward, thinking that LGD couldn't fight them, but a smoke movement from Nouns to an end.
And you got to remember, they lost the gem on that earlier Underlord feed top, so
True.
it makes the Spirit Breaker really annoying.
Going for Lelis. Lelis has a BKB, but he's already taken so much damage. Trying to get away. Lotus will help him out here, and Shiro can't quite finish him off. He's too fast. Meanwhile, Copy went in with his Requiem.
Didn't
All
land.
those BKBs went off, though, so his ult just really didn't do much. An Earth Splitter, not a bad placement, but not enough damage out from the side of Nouns as they're just stuck. Shiro, he needs to get away. An Ogre Seal Totem throws some damage back on Anu. He's going back into this with the buyback gate play. They think with a second life on the SF, they can actually take this fight against LGD. It looks like they're right initially. They kill Echo, going for more now. The song coming out. Shiro has BKB, or his Rage rather, to be able to bring down the Templar Assassin.
Is feasting,
Shiro
man.
is doing way too much. Now it's completely overestimating their strength on a buyback.
I mean, this SF buyback is strong, but he has no Requiem, so no BKB, no Requiem. How strong is it really? And again, your chase and catch potential is just very limited here. So they're going to smoke it up. I would not be surprised to see them just flank this position and try and start the fight with a breaker charge. And it's been pretty reliable for them and is doing work. And that Ags arrives for the Lifestealer. So yeah, Infest Bomb online. Might have another
got
Infest
vision of
fight.
Copy, perfect target, and they chain it. They get the spear off of the charge. Copy's dead with the dieback. He's gone for 2 minutes, and Gunner's desperately trying to get through his gate in order to escape. He won't make it. Big burst damage there on the Mars, but not quite enough. Even the stomp there towards the end, but LGD ultimately do not lose anybody for that.
Man, blink and you miss it. This SF is just gone. And it's very difficult.
The TA is already struggling to get damage onto people and blow them up effectively. And frankly, I feel like the SF just doesn't do any damage outside of Requiem.
No. His right clicks are irrelevant at this point.
Hex and have a go. See if they can kill Yuma, and with double spear, they've got him. No saves whatsoever from Nouns. They're gonna go for the Requiem though. They actually do a lot of damage with the disruption. Is that gonna bail him out? Shiro comes out, pops out with the Rage, and yeah, he's even gonna keep that Aegis intact. Doesn't have to blow it just yet. New sees an opportunity for another arena. Getting 3 heroes inside of it, invests inside the SF, so he can't do a damn thing. And that is just gonna be a close team wipe. They've taken out all the cores that are important, can focus on the buildings. Lelis tries to do what he can, but he's pinned by another spear from New. Back-to-back-to-back pins from New. That might just force Nouns to tap out.
Absolutely no answer for Shiro from start to finish in this game. I mean, he had very strong itemization pathways. He got to this Radiance AC, and it just feels like he's a raid boss. Don't have good answers for him unless you are the ones getting Roshan and snowballing this game and pushing LGD down. And they were able to stall out that mid game long enough for their scale to come online. And at this point, way too hard to fight the overwhelming firepower here. Very clutch disruption from Y as well. Been on point this game.
He really has. The Shatter Demon's been quite the menace. Even if it wasn't able to bring much power in the early part of the game, where we saw Nouns were a bit more effective with some of their movements and got an early lead, we're not able.
Once more, they can siege it up with Cleanse behind this Lifestealer.
Yeah, Cleanse and Rage and just kind of poke at it over and over and over again.
Nouns are smoking to triangle, looking for some sort of straggler or split pusher.
But instead, they get the initiation. They go for the Underlord. And a double pin on top of that one. Man, Mew's initiation just so on point right now. Somehow they don't manage to finish off Yuma. Gunner is going to go down to the Lifestealer, but it gave Copy an opportunity to jump into the backline. Unfortunately, again, did not do enough. It's the BKBs and various heals just allow them to survive, ignore the SF, finish him when he tries to get back to his fountain. And Nouns, nothing really left. They've got Lelis, And they've got their Templar Assassin, Yuma, trying to get back to the fountain and can't quite make it. GG is going to be called on this game 1. LGD will take it in the late game.
A really nice idea from them. They gave this SF first pick, and they really made the fights impossible. The two supports are both very good at interacting with the SF at all points in the game, stopping the Requiem, dealing with his BKB timing, and then this last pick, Lifestealer, just did wonders for them. Unpressurable in the lane. Nobody could really rotate there. You don't have a playmaker to start the fight on top of anybody. So every fight is just Lifestealer going in and getting what he wants out of that engagement. Well-utilized lineup from LGD and continuing to show signs of life in this tournament as they build on it. But for now,
if you get an early earn or a first blood, this could change things, of course. But I think in general, TA plus any POS 5 is going to beat Mars plus anything, except for maybe a Hoodwink. That might be the exception.
What the Pudge?
What the Pudge?
Is that a copy Pudge?
Who knows, actually?
Is it a Yuma Pudge?
I think
it's a copy Pudge.
I think it's
a copy
mid versus
Pudge.
Ember.
Yep, it is.
So I personally have seen a couple ways to play this. There is one way of playing it where you just don't get hook and you just get your W and E and you just trade with them during Flame Guard and you own them.
To the rest of the pool rather than the meta, if that makes sense. So and I think LGD is very much in that regard because they weren't really on like the big meta anyway.
That'll be enough. New trying to talk good about him and apparently cursed his name. He ends up giving the first blood to Yuma.
Kind of a surprising kill. Not a lane I would have expected Nouns to get the first blood on here, but it is a very strong lane in terms of just battling back with the armor differential and refraction. Very tough lane to get aggressive on for LGD here.
I mean, I would say that Ember Spirit missed hook was pretty important. This one, maybe not quite so much.
It's just not finding a lot, though. No flesh heaps really going into him. This is just going to be a slow farm game from Nouns.
Oh, caught Shiro, though. What was he doing here? Why is he in mid in the river?
I don't know. Good question. I mean, it's usually in games where both teams are unwilling to fight outside of specific conditions, or like we saw in this game, right? You got an amp damage rune on the Ember. They wanted to take a fight. Nouns kind of know this is happening. They're going to dodge that fight. In this situation, you're smoking a triangle with your Deso timing, your Zags Pudge timing. LG are happy to just rat the map and dodge that and get a tower instead.
Well, they hit a condition, a big one. Catching a Templar Assassin right in front of your tier 2. Yeah, he doesn't have Blink Dagger or anything, so he was very far up.
Yeah, he just got speared. It's a fight to LGD and get some aggressive vision out, push the lanes into them.
Well, Copy's in a very aggressive position with his Aegis. Misses another hook. Fly was trying to help him out here. Okay, they do have the Rolling Thunder chaining up on the Ember Spirit. Disruption goes out. They've already taken away the Aegis of the Pudge on the side. Now they go for the second life. Shiro leading into him. They have the Dismember to stall out a little bit here. Shiro's going to activate his BKB, pop his ultimate, and kill this Pudge. Pudge does manage to get off the hook, though, to finish off Mew. But as the ult expires from Shiro, he's going to be able to get away. Radamato's holding him in place for a little bit. Echo trying to finish off Gunner, swashbuckle, but no. Ticks out to the Spirit Vessel. And Nouns, another Aegis that does not really go their way. We had a similar situation in game 1. Can experience a few more losses before you're under threat of elimination again. A hook.
That would have been a big one.
It would have, but it doesn't land. And now they're still going to walk in and try and force this fight anyway. Going on to the Mars with the BKB. He's tanky enough to survive through this one, and it's giving Shiro a free run at hitting the Pudge right now. Now, it's going to take a little while to finish off that Pudge. In fact, Shiro's just straight up dying. Copy is apparently too strong this time around. Underneath his tower, and with the help of the Warcry, it is a world of difference. He has way more armor than when you went on him last time.
Vampire Fang's healing him up. The Rots are running the whole time. The Troll just ends up dying before he can do enough damage. That is not the target Shiro wanted to end up on there. He was looking for the TA, but the fact that Yuma got the blink out wins him that fight.
Especially later on to the game, how much damage block he gets.
And instantly into the Roche, as we expected here. It's done before LGD are even here, but they will still take the fight.
Yeah, they might be able to get a good initiation as Roshan dies. Gleipnir goes out. They are able to pick up the Aegis, no problem. They've already hit the back line. That's going to be the Hoodwink. Gunner in a good position, though. This is a bowling alley. He is just running through all of these pins of LGD, stalling them up. They finally got the Hoodwink kill, but what are the rest of Nouns up to? Looks like Yuma has managed to chase down Y, so he went for the Shadow Demon first. The cores, though, of LGD are all going to be able to escape no problem. So ultimately a 1-for-1
Like, they do
trade.
okay on lanes, but then it's that 10 to 25 minute mark or so. What happens after that? That's been kind of rough for them. But if they get to the late game, I feel like they're generally pretty comfortable again. You know, their team fighting has been pretty solid. And it feels like you're just kind of bypassing both those periods in these games if you're Nouns. This should feel pretty
Fly, big
comfortable
break
for
forward
LGD.
for the Radavitos. That'll catch him and kill him. And Gunner might be in trouble as well. After all, he used his Rolling Thunder earlier, tried to get a hook out safe, gets him inside the Dismember, inside of the Pudge's belly. They start running away with a buyback coming down from Fly. It seems like Nouns are open to the idea of taking this fight. Gunner actually goes in with a swashbuckle. Rolling Thunder right on top of everybody here, but hasn't hit anybody just yet. Goes for Shiro. Bumps him once. Will be able to hit him a second time. Hook back up from Copy, bringing Shiro in. Now Shiro's on top of the Templar Assassin, but a Dismember save and a cheese eat on Copy. Will heal them both up, and Shiro is going to be left without an ultimate right in front of the tier 3. This is a bad position for LGD, and now the potential is just getting run down. Shiro, he's trying to get any kill he can, but he is stuck in this fight situation. Satanic keeping him alive for a bit. Eventually, the Dismember comes through to stop him, and Nouns with a massive win. Take a team fight that kills 3. They really only had to use a buyback on the Sven, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. I even get PYW here.
Got him eventually.
A huge team fight win, and this Pudge he's untouchable, man. And the problem is, if he's untouchable, he's making everybody else untouchable.
Yep.
2 huge hook Dismember saves.
You suggested Nullifier at one point in time because there is so many great things to be able to dispel.
Yep.
Copy. Fishing. And daring LGD to go on it. They'll oblige. Already got the passive off. Health. Copy is almost dead here, but got the BKB Dismembering, healing up a bit, but Shiro will eventually bring him down. And without the Pudge, there's no save. So if Echo can keep the Templar Assassin, oh, Echo, he goes in too deep, ends up running into the silence of the Templar Assassin trap, and now Yuma's playing the distance against Shiro, and Shiro, now there's nobody to save him in turn. With the troll now gone, Yuma, he'll feast, he blinks up to join the kill on the Mars. They'll chase away PYW like they usually do at the tail end of a fight. A buyback even from Echo as he made a fatal misstep, thinking that once the Pudge was dead, it was just about catching the Templar Assassin, but just immediately died to the heavy damage.
I mean, TA caught him. It's not a man fight you're ever going to win. I mean, the Ember's job this game is to provide some chains latch, get the Mage Slayer hit through, and be annoying, but you're not a man fighter. You do get the Pudge buyback, but he gets to back it up with an Aegis here, whereas you don't. So another huge team fight win for Nouns. They pull ahead by 14K. This TA is starting to deal some real damage. A lingering hero on the triangle. So LGD thinks Nouns are in this ancient area right now. They're not going to see anybody in fact, they're not there. This scan, kind of unfortunate for them.
Got him on the retreat, but not knowing that they are retreating.
They do have this ward up top. They're seeing the Pudge right now.
They are. They're going to get the opening onto Lelis. Missed out on the spear, though. Shiro jumps for it and goes onto the Pudge once again.
Not who you want to go on here.
Not really, but he hasn't had to blow too much at the same time. Yuma has already used his BKB. And he's trying to put a little bit of damage. New goes in for a second attempt. Spear doesn't actually latch again. He gets the arena. You got locked inside, though. That's the important part. Finally, the troll gets on top of the Templar Assassin and is able to go to work. But a buyback's going to be used. Echo, nice spear back. Gets Echo away from the lingering damage of the Pudge and able to come back in the fight with a couple rounds slight. Oh, Dismember, though, onto Shiro. Can they turn back onto this troll with Yuma coming in with a second life? Shiro, though, is healing. He's healing too much. And maybe Shiro, maybe it's a 5 versus 10 that they can actually win on the side of LGD, as Yuma's gonna get a dieback here. There's nobody to help him out. They all bat back on the side of Nouns, but they don't have a carry.
They just pushed 5 buybacks out of Nouns, and Nouns are unable to get to this outpost and take the fight. Shiro early. Now let's say you BKB on TA and exchange that for New throwing out one of his arenas. I think LGD are happy with that. So buybacks on cooldown for 3 minutes here. You have an Aegis for 1.5.
Try to get the spear back. New misses. Not even a spear back.
Gotta worry about the hooks.
Yeah, that's if you miss the Pudge on the spear back, you could be in for a world of hurt there.
And now Shiro, he has Refresher. This is... Oh.
They follow up to this one. They hit the Gleipnir, the chain stun, and the Ember Spirit is dead. 10 remnants, quadruple slice, all nothing. They just get the right initiation and a hook to be able to stop the TP away from you as well. All of a sudden, Nouns, they were seriously on the back foot, but they've just given a fresh breath of life as they have this full time where the Ember Spirit, who did buyback in that Roshan fight, is going to be guaranteed dead.
2 minutes, no Ember. You're gonna try and end the game? I mean, you still have no buybacks. But this might be the best opening you're gonna get, at least for a long time.
I mean, I
can get the buyback out of the Mars and the Shadow Demon potentially. What a random hook to land, but
I stopped expecting hooks, honestly. Copy had been fishing so long and been pulling up nothing but boots.
The thing is, the disruption went in on the Pudge, not the Ember. I don't know if Y just couldn't get it off or he just judged it wrong, but
they came back with a couple heroes to try and catch PYW. It doesn't quite work.
We're gonna rack spot him regardless.
Is this gonna stop Nouns' push though? By not having all their heroes, it's awkward now.
I mean, they're gonna get Megas here unless LGD are willing to commit double buyback and take the fight without the Ember Spirit, which they can do. They have Refresher Troll. This is double BKB, double Battle Trance. No joke.
They're gonna buy back, and Nouns are gonna have to back away now.
And your smoke is running out, and that was your last smoke because of that missed smoke from earlier.
You're running into tier 5 neutral items where you haven't farmed yours.
PYW doesn't even have a TP.
Oh, he's got Giant's Ring Copy. That's a big old toy. Magic Lamp for Yuma. I wonder what his choices were. It's an interesting one. Dismember on the Ember Spirit. Is that control going to be enough? Echo gets off a slay, jumps to the back lines. He is on no HP whatsoever, but he's bouncing around constantly. Shiro is leading into the Pudge, though. Just like always, trying to focus on the Pudge, and he's actually doing it through this Giant's Ring. It doesn't matter. Shiro gets a little bit low. Pops BKB, Satanic. It's extra life. It's tearing Yuma apart. They have some buybacks on the side of Nouns. Is this going to be another fight where they buy back and still lose it? Are they going to hold their buybacks? It seems Relic dies as well as PYW is able to get the final pickup. 4 dead on the side of Nouns, and LGD.
The damage from that troll, man. The cleave radius, the hits going through, and it's all the Refresher there from Shiro. Having the second round there of that ultimate pushes him over the edge. And like you said, Nouns unwilling. As Nouns, yeah, they have a couple of their own, but they're sitting on 3 tokens right now. They'll take a Stygian for the Hoodwink, also pretty impactful.
LGD lost their advantage last time by trying to push up to the high ground and getting hooked. Something they have to consider, especially with Copy's position. Using the Giant's Ring to sit on top of the trees. Got him inside the arena, though. Still, though, Rolling Thunder stalls up Shiro a little bit. Now he's going to start hitting the Pudge, but a Dismember goes through. Shiro, disruption on the top of his ultimate. That's bad. He's going to use a lot of his ultimate time being stuck inside the disruption, comes back out and gets no life steal whatsoever.
Yes, no BKB, no ult, no Refresher available for Shiro.
Can they get a hook on him? They do. The giant hook pulls him back into his doom, and he's gone. There's nothing LGD can do about it. Why? He struggles to make up for his mistake, but the blunder is done, the damage is done, and you cannot undo it.
That is an incredibly unfortunate disruption for LGD, a miscommunication or something in terms of what the troll needed. Maybe not understanding the hard dispel was going to be there, and the whole time they're losing their throne. This thing was getting assaulted by creeps. No tier 4s left for LGD. They cannot afford another team fight like that. They're just going to lose it to creeps. Buyback out of the Shadow Demon. And I believe the Refresher Shard did not get used, but...
Oh my god, they're actually going to go for it.
I mean, they want something with this. I mean, the buybacks are all up, though. Kind of, this feels late, right? Oh, they're gonna commit. That's a big pick.
Rolling Thunder. It hits Shiro once, and they Abyssal Blade him as well. He is in an awkward position. Already down to half and has to use his BKB. Yuma turns back around. The Ember Spirit is in so deep, dismembered and dead. What? And now they're focusing on the Sven of all the heroes, but now they're
gonna stay around. So you got a Refresher.
And Copy's going for it. They run down mid and catch New. And Okay, now it's just grab back. Now, whoever else you can get at this point in time. Weiss desperately trying to get out with the demonic cleanse. Echo's going to throw himself in, though. Shiro turns back in. They see Fly, who already used his buyback earlier to miss a plate. Some stuns being thrown around, down to half. Gunner trying to kite away from this Heroes. Meanwhile, there's a mosh pit with Arena inside of it. Coffee's actually going to be dying to the Ember Spirit. Well, Shiro is the one running around trying to do damage, but his team were able to do it without him. The Weaver and the Ember actually start doing some of the heavy lifting when it comes to damage.
You got to hit big hexes. You got to hit big spears and arenas here so you can set the damage up. Because you can't just walk in and start hitting people. So my eyes are on this Mars right now. Look for the jump. Look for the potential spear back, the double hex, the double spear.
And my eyes are on Coffee and the hook.
He got the hex on the TA.
He did. Is that a little bit too deep, though? It seems like it. Shiro is not comfortable with this. Already being deterred by the Rolling Thunder. Coffee immediately goes for the pounce. He pushes forward, hits the hook, gets the dismember. Now the ultimate is out on from Shiro. Nouns,
refresh.
Can they get a refresh? The second life, look at that healing going on. Man, it is so much. He's back up the full once again. A hook somehow a little bit off the mark, but that's okay.
Yes,
You got
nothing
the
else.
disengage. Gunner is also going to be able to roll away, but Coffee is being torn apart still. Another side's being put in with the spear on top of that. Love the damage. PYW just took him down in a triple shot from hell.
Divine Rapier for the Templar Assassin now. Yuma knows this is their last life potentially in this tournament. You have to bring the damage. You have to bring the heat. No refreshers available for all of these cores right now.
Hook back into the tier 4s. Mew immediately responds with an Arena, trying to protect their carry. Shiro pops his first ultimate here, gets hit by a little bit of bashing action.
This is his only ult.
Yeah, this is not looking so good. He's just going to die like this.
He used the glyph well here, especially you can create some situations where you arena people off and your throne might just disappear in that brief 2 or 3 second respite in the middle of the fight.
Fly, desperate to just give them any sort of small advantage here, picks up a Vlad's, and he'll be the one. Oh, the hook doesn't actually pull him out. He's going to have to use buyback here. Now, Shiro dropped a lot of HP very quickly. Gunner gets a little bit stuck, hops out of the base, hits an Abyssal Blade on the Troll. And he grabs here.
Yo, these
Mew actually goes back in. He goes for the Pango, but immediately gets dismember saved. Chasing away LGD at the end of this game, as they already won down in this best of 3. And with LGD, a Roshan freshly taken, a high ground about to be sieged, or perhaps surprise initiation, a smoke up. Pushing deeper, looking for the pickoff. They spot Yuma. Is that what they want? They go for Coffee instead. Got his spear back on him. No saves from the punch this time around. He'll die in an instant. He'll have buyback though. And that's what they're going to have to play off of here. Shiro gets a little bit low. Those acorns. Gotta be careful, those acorns. They do some serious damage. Oh, goes out, not quite landing. Double pin from Mew. He hit the Arena spear on exactly what he needed to. Shiro will clean up the rest as he chases down Yuma. Another refresher going out, pops his ultimate again to shrug off the debuffs, chasing after these heroes, but he's getting kited, and now he's getting stunned, and now he's gonna get killed again. Eventually, he'll go down. Is he going to buy back? Are they going to try and end the game? Careful, the acorns. BYW is very low. He has an Aegis. Wide shot, but not dead. Not dead yet. Gunner tries to finish him off. A disruption will buy him a little time, and they can't afford to go outside their base. Not with the Troll lurking.
If you can catch that hoodwink, it would also be the dream. PYW could take a racks of his own.
I mean, the thing is we're late enough the game that Nouns.
Oh, got the TA, but the blink out.
The blink out. They can give up Megas. That's not a problem. They can hold for tier 4s. The Pudge is up in 20 seconds time.
Base.
LGD. The Acorn goes out. Disruption. They're going to hit him. And PYW. Oh, he got off the timeline. So he keeps his Aegis still intact. And somehow they got the Arena onto Yuma. Force staff trying to get him away. But no. He'll be hunted down. And goes back away. Throne exposed now as they continue to go for it. BYW finally losing that Aegis. Mew's going to try and cover him with the spear. The glyph is, that means the throne is entirely exposed. LGD could all in for it at any time now. Copy trying to hit the hook. Oh, barely off the mark there. They wanted to be able to grab something out of this hold. Something that could give them a way back into a position to even things out.
LGD got what they wanted there. 1,000%. Maybe more valuable than this TA buyback is tier 4s and the glyph, because now any sort of fight in Nouns base just ends the game. And I feel like Nouns know it. They're just going to make the call to move now. move against the Megas, maybe go for LGD's throw and put them in an awkward situation.
I mean, they got the troll buyback out of him, so a pickoff on him
TA
might just crack open the game. Copy's gonna run into all these heroes. They spot Shiro. They spot several others too. What do they go for here? It looks like PYW. PYW just dies so quickly.
Divine's on the deck.
He has no real defense. The Divines are open. A Sven who is finally becoming the carry. Yuma's trying to hold the base in the meanwhile.
Could also just run down mid. They did not have the economy to replace the Weaver Divine. Brought out Refresher instead, so PYW's damage got reduced by a lot here.
I do wonder how much LGD, do they even, this is a 90-minute game. You're fried at this point. This is an elimination series. Have they kept track of that glyph usage?
They have to have.
They got the pick off on the Templar Assassin.
No buy?
No buy.
Go throne, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to stop you now. There wasn't really much to stop you from before, but Nouns, they have to take the team fight. They know it too. They're going to try and make their initiation. They do manage to burst down the Weaver. They also got the Shadow Demon. It was a great initiation. Isn't going to be good enough, though, especially with the buybacks. The Weaver coming back into play, picking up the Divine Rapiers, going in, and that's going to be the Shiro just ripping them apart. Now he's going to lead on to Gunner. Gunner getting a lot of shields off his shield crest, but Coffee got him inside the Dismember. Can they do damage with all their Divine Rapiers, or are they just going to run out against the lifesteal of Shiro? And it seems like that's going to be the case. New pouncing for more. Hits the spear back, pulling Fly back in, while Gunner's struggling to get back to safety of his fountain. But even that doesn't matter because their throne is exposed. The creeps are hitting it. They'll finish off every last member of Nouns before they go for the end of the game. LGD will claim it. In 91 minutes, they will get a 2-0 victory over Nouns, and they will move to the next stage of the RIYADH Masters.
This team just refuses to lose this game. I mean, there's no way around it. That is a game that goes the absolute distance here. 91 minutes. Divine Rapiers all across the board. Awkward pushes for LGD as the troll just continually gets sucked in super deep to Nouns base, and you're going up against those high ground hooks, and still they find a way in the end. They wear through the buybacks one at a time. They wear through the troll deaths one at a time.